Guys, hope you're doing well. I'm doing quite fine. I just had a pretty nice photo shoot and I wanted to touch it up. Um, I had about 200 pictures of the same profile, and I used one for today that I wasn't quite happy with, but I know I can adjust it to something pretty cool. And so let's do that today. So the first things first, the first thing I do is recrop. Um, then I'm going to adjust the colors this way or this way. But I do want to kill a bit of hair here. I'm going to go this way and I'm going to line up the eyes. Okay. Enter. I like that. Okay, so it's been recropped. Then the temperature time. Take the little thing here, shoot it right in the white of the eyes. Not bad. Just a little warmer. Boom, that's it. A tad touch. Let's make it an even 5 grand. Okay, I like that. All right, so that's it. No, I'm not. Just kidding. Okay, so you'll bring down the exposure a little bit just so I can see and the clarity pretty high. This way I see all the little defects in the skin. Okay. Now I can use the spot removal tool. Make sure the opacity is at its highest or close to the highest, sorry. And start with zooming in. I'm gonna do the forehead first, and then we're gonna um, do the rest. So you can go rather quickly here because Lightroom, 95% of the time does a perfect job at selecting the right areas to clip from, and you can trust it. And the ones that don't work, they'll be very apparent, so you'll just fix those as you need to. Okay, so this is taken care of. One here. Now, when you're dealing with a female face, you see, like here, it had selected something in the wrinkle here, which created another wrinkle. So that's not what you want. So you just see it and you correct it. That's it. My eye saw it right away. It saw another spot that needed to be fixed, and it was already fixed, but badly fixed though. You do that. So when it's a female face, you want to have her skin as smooth and porous as you can. What I mean by that is you want it as smooth as you can, but with some pores in it. If you take out every single pore, not with this tool, but I mean by brushing with very low clarity everywhere, it's going to be too much. Um, Now some women will say, my skin looks too perfect. Yeah, well, that's why you put makeup on. That's why you get your facials done and to have the nicest skin you can have. And that's what we're doing here. And usually the ones who complain about that is um, it's rarely the model or the pregnant. It's somebody else. Like, it just looks too touched up. Yeah, because they hate the fact you look good. That's what they're saying. So be aware of that and don't worry about people's comments. Uh, Look good and have fun with it. Okay, so that's all right. This reflection on my nose is annoying. No, don't duplicate this. This little tiny little thing. Nose is difficult. There's a lot of texture here. Little micro red veins and sunspots and zits and blackheads and all that stuff. We're going to smooth it out later on, but for now, uh, and again, by boosting up the clarity, I can really see all the stuff that I would take off. Um, Now I'm taking off beauty marks, right? A lot of people don't like that. They're like, well, it takes away from the skin. Like, well, why would you do that? Um, it's not taking anything away from the skin. The thing is, if you have a trademark type of beauty mark like Cindy Crawford or Madonna, whatever, fine. Those you leave there, of course, and you can even put emphasis on it and make it a little bit darker when you post process. But when it's not a key feature of your face, just don't bother. Take it off. And it's going to give you smoother skin, which is a sign of health, sign of youth, all of that. Now, this is me, by the way, so I know all my little defects, so I know where to fix. Oh, not here. Yeah, here's good. And that little white thing I have here is really annoying. Get up here. Good, I think we're done with the touching up here. This picture is really sharp, so I like it a lot. What is that? Not here. And this here, we'll take it here. Good. We can close this tool, move back. Oops, sorry. Okay. Now if I do back and forth, I mean, forget the change of clarity, but just look at the spots disappearing. It's pretty good. And there's one thing left here. Basically, it was done, but not done properly. Yeah, there we go. That's a little thing, that's quite fine. Okay, so we got that back. Nice. Clarity back to 0. We're not going to touch the exposure. I think it looks good for now. Oops. Okay, and now let's start the magic. Red, brown, very light pink, light pink. We got a lot of different colors. It's okay, but I don't like it when my nose is too red versus the rest of the face. So to tone this down, you go to HSL. Hue, saturation, luminance. So to tone it down, you want to go for luminance. Tone it down, I mean even it out with the rest of the skin. So I can either bring the reds all the way down, which are making them darker, and you see what the effect is, or back to 0. And if I bring it higher, it kind of melts it in with the rest of the face, as opposed to this to this. Now back and forth. Well, you can barely tell this way, but I prefer that. Second thing I do is I go in hue. I'm going to try to make the red go more of a yellowish color. Or orangey color. See, now it's starting to melt in better. And here, if we go this way, no. This way, no. But tiny little bit, no. No, this doesn't do much for me. There we go. So I took the yellow, I brought it more towards the orange. Right? Even if actually if I do this here. See this picture now, this guy has even skin, no more spots. There's a huge difference already. This looks overexposed, everything's showing up ugly, yellowish tint. We're doing pretty good so far, guys. So, alright, so that's good for now. I don't need to touch this anymore. So I'm just close it up. What should I do next? Should I do these first? Okay, let's brush some things out. Brush. In this section here, custom, click here, go to soften skin. What it does is basically it's taking all these adjustable things here, and you can, well, it gives you a suggestion. So Lightroom says if you want to soften skin, bring the clarity all the way down, sharpness a little high here, up to 25, and that's that. Now, I like it if I bring the clarity a little higher here. This is what I like. I always click on auto mask here because when I get close to the eyes, I don't want the brush to touch the eyes. So let me start brushing quickly here. And now I'm going to press on O for overlay. So now it's showing me where I'm painting. So I can go rather fast because even if I go on the eyes, oh no, I just did. Sorry, if I go around the eyes, it's not gonna, see my brush is going on the eyes now, but my plus sign here is on the skin, so it knows to mask my eyes out. So then I go around here. I don't really want to, oops, touch the, sorry guys, it won't be long. I don't want to touch the lips. Okay. Like that. And this, we can just zoom in. And that's it. Okay, zoom out. Press on O to take out the overlay. And this is what happens. Now, we go back and forth. Much nicer skin now. Everything's there. Or if you want to proof, look, this picture is very sharp. There's the pores. All the pores are there. Looking very nice. In fact, I would increase it a little more to make sure everything looks cool. Okay, so same thing. Click on the brush we just did. Bring down the clarity a little more, not too much, just like that. I think that's pretty nice. Next, we're going to take care of these wrinkles. I have one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. It bothers me. And also under the eyes. We're going to lighten and soften these up and makes a beautiful difference. The way I do it is with the spot removal tool, but not the exact same way. Okay, so spot removal tool. Now bring the opacity almost to the end. Okay, just like this. And what's going to happen is when you go over the line, it's going to take another selection, right? But it's still leaving some of it there, right? Because if I bring the opacity all the way down, it's as if I've never touched it. If I bring it up, all the way up, then it's completely disappeared. Now, if you bring it here, it's still there, but not as bad as it used to. So you're leaving wrinkles there. You're just smoothing them out. You're just making it less ugly. The wrinkles are ugly. Take it easy, guys. It's not natural. Yeah, it's okay. You just do them all like that. Oops, not that. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on here. Okay. There. And you'll see, before and after, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, they're still there. It's not a big deal, you know. They're just much smoother. By the way, spot removal tool, when you're doing as much as I'm doing now, um, that takes a lot of juice out of Lightroom. So it makes things a bit slower as it's doing it now. Once we're done though, we'll turn it off till the end, and then we'll just add it at the end, so it'll allow us to keep working at a decent speed. So it's good here. Now let's go down to the eyes. And this is a trick I saw. I forgot who did this. And I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? It's amazing. Okay, so, you know, you see a lot of things. You see a little moisture. The skin looks a bit wet and reflecting the light and the wrinkles. It's a big mess here. Do the same thing. Boom. It's going to take a selection under the cheek, and if it doesn't, make it. Bring it here. Not that way. I want a selection that's around here. Yeah, that looks okay. And see what it's doing. Opacity a little higher. It's smoothing it out, but leaving it there. It's doing so well here. Let's go on the other side. You'll see the before and after. You'll be like, okay, I get it. And play with it. I mean, it's to your taste too, you know. If you like it more with more wrinkles, then do that. Okay. Looks great to me. Let's zoom out. Yeah, looks good. So, I mean, seriously, beautiful. Sexy boy there. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's relax. So, see, there's still things here, like little spots here. We can take them off, I guess. It's really not much. You know, let's smooth this out. Sorry, now it's getting a bit slow, but don't worry, it's gonna speed up very fast in a second. This is okay to me. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Spot removal wise, we're done. Okay, so let me just click on it, turn it off. Did I turn it off? Yeah. Yeah, they're starting to reappear now. All the spots and the wrinkles, everything's coming back. There we go. So okay, that's what we want. It's gonna speed it up a bit. We'll turn it back on after. Now, some local adjustments. Exposure is fine to me. This was shot at 1/60th, 640 ISO, f8, so pretty sharp. Exposure is fine. Highlights, I won't touch it. What I do want to touch is the highlights and the hair. So you use the shadow brush for this. You press on shadow on the brush and use shadow. Let me double click effect. So everything is back to 0 here. So you have shadow here. Bring it up. Now it's on auto match, don't do that. Just to bring out this. So if you don't have a hair light, which I did that day, but it's not showing up too much here. There's a hair light. There you go. You can even do this here if you want, but it looks like the background was overspilling too much here. So I don't like that. So let me delete this. So I like this. It's bringing out some, you know, white hair, black hair. Everything's nice and it's giving it a more refined look. I look like McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy. No, I don't. I wish. Okay. Brush-wise, we're good. The whites. So The background is a pure white, obviously. But what you can do, hold the Alt key and just concentrate on the actual face. So if I bring the whites all the way up, completely up, nothing is pure white here. Nothing. So you could crank it up all the way to the top if you want. It gives a nice edgier look. You don't really need to do it, but let's do a little bit of it. Okay, the blacks. I want this shirt to be completely black. If there's a little bit of, you know, uh, stuff showing up here is okay. That's fine. I much prefer this. It's more contrasty. Okay, clarity, tiny bit. Here, these three here, never go more than plus 15 or minus 15 when you're touching up someone's face. That's my advice to you. It gets too much very quickly, and you don't want that. When you're in black and white, that's another story. And we'll do a black and white version of this right after, once everything's done. Vibrance, it's okay now. I'm gonna lower it to minus 10 maybe, minus 11, same thing. Saturation, same thing. I would lower it a little bit. Yeah, not too much. Okay, so that's good for the skin. The spots are done. I can turn it back on, but I won't now. Um, eyes. Eyes are a key thing for me. And every time I publish one of those pictures, I mean a portrait, I always get the same, like, man, the eyes are so good. Because I touch them, and I just bring them out. I'm not creating new eyes, I'm just touching them up. Double click on effect, take a brush, go right to the eye. So I have a rule of 20, 20, 20, 40, okay? Exposure, 0.20. Where is it? Shadow, 0.20. Clarity, 20. Saturation, 40. Oh, and sharpness, 20. Okay, this is what I use. Now we're gonna adjust it a little more once we're done with this part here. It's not doing much, it seems. Why not? Okay, there you go. Yeah, maybe 40 on the sharpness. I don't know. Let's leave it at 20. The rest is gonna be taken care of when we sharpen the whole picture. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have to add a little more color. But it's sharpening them up, bringing out the stuff in the next to in the iris. So now let me zoom out just so you see the difference. This is the way it is now, how it was. Okay, so they're a bit too dark, right? No problem. Either bring this down to 0, the exposure, and shadow, bring it up. And look at what it's doing to the eyes. It's bringing out all the little details in there. And that's amazing. So I'm at 70 here, because the clarity darkens things up. If I bring it down, see? Now I'm starting to look alienish. But clarity somehow has a contrast in the eyes that I like. So I'll bring this back to 20. Okay, so that's good. Now, I have blue eyes. Somehow it's not showing up too much here, but this is my eye color. There. Now, when you back off, there you go. Looks pretty damn nice. Is it too much? Once we're all done, we'll reconcentrate on this, refocus on this, and see if it's too much or not. Okay, so eyes are done, skin is done, hair is done, shirt is done. The background's pure white. We're good. We're almost done. So all I have to do now is turn this off. Go to detail. I have a rule of 100 here. So if I put, for example, 60 in sharpening, let's do it. 60. I put 40 in noise reduction. That's the way I've always done it. That's the way I've seen it done many times by other people. You can lower it a little bit. And it just works. Okay, I'm done with you. Lens correction. Go to basic. Enable profile correction, yes. Remove chromatic aberration, yes. I just do this all the time. Then you go to manual. You're gonna play with the sorry, not the vertical. Sorry, let me double click this. Okay, and it's distortion. If you bring it this way, see what it's going, what it's doing. It's pinching it a little bit, which I find my lens widens things a little bit. You don't need to touch this, okay? It's not gonna make a huge difference, but to me, no, not this at all. Like, I always like to come here and play and see if something could be adjusted better. No, no. You know what? It's good. Distortion needed to be fixed a little bit, but it's fine now. Man, the eyes are looking pretty good, guys. Okay, so done with this. Done with pretty much everything. Tone curve. Before I forget, you always test it out. You don't need to. I go to medium contrast. I either like what it does or I don't. In this case, it's too much. So, oh, not touching it. All right. So, back with the spot removal tool. Gonna add them back up. It's gonna, there we go. Turn it off. Oh boy, sexy beast. So what do I do now? Well, I'm gonna do something that's controversial. What does that mean? I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna take about 5-10 pounds out of my face. Now, at this point, you leave it the way you want. It's a question of whether you want to do this or you don't. But here's the thing. Every single goddamn actor you've seen on the screen or on billboards or on posters or in pictures, whatever it is, every model, every good looking people you've seen, and you're like, man, I wish I was like that. Well, guess what? That every single picture has been retouched. Every single one. So don't feel bad. You know, if you want to look as good as you can without, obviously exaggerating. If everybody in your family knows you're 400 pounds, don't try to make yourself look 200 pounds. Doesn't work. So the only thing I'm going to touch up is the neck. I go to filter, liquify. It's going to open up the module here. And it's here. This bothers me a little bit. Honestly, I could have fixed it if I would have brought my face a little more forward and down. It would have extended my neck and I would have, didn't have too much neck here. So I'm just going to fix this. And the key here, guys, is to be very, very slow and subtle. Not too worried about this here. This was my face. That's the way my shirt was. Okay. See, that looks bad here. So you just back up everything. Okay, back to 0. Let me just do this here. This, bring it up. Okay. And then you just take a step back. You just look at it and look natural. This looks disaligned. That's how it is. This looks pretty good. Doesn't look touched up at all. At all. Can't admit that if this like somehow misaligned. Very nice. Okay, done. Press on OK. We're good here. There's a cropping issue here because I played with the distortion. Let me just recrop it. Fine here. Top is okay. Here. And I'm going to crop it all the way to here. And something's wrong with the alignment. I think that's pretty damn good, guys. Alright, so Command S for save. Then it's going to bring it back in Lightroom right away. And that's the before and after. See, lost maybe 20 pounds. Boom. Beautiful. Alright, so that's for the color one. I really like it in color this way. If I go to black and white, guys, it's not too complicated. You just go to black and white here. And what you're going to do is bring up the whites. Makes a nice, beautiful contrast. The blacks, you can bring them down a little more. Clarity a little more now. Now, if you want to have a little rougher look, this works nice. This looks pretty nice. Eyes are very intense. Skin is nice. I like this a lot. That's it, dude. If you have any questions or comments, needless to say, you know what to do. And I'll be more than happy to address them and look into it. All right. Thank you very much.